Hello there, I'm Lloyd Evans. Welcome to The Bunker. It's time for another voicemail. Today's voicemail is from an anonymous caller. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Hi, Lloyd. Firstly, just to say huge kudos to any physically and mentally out Jehovah's Witnesses who leave voicemails for your channel, because it's really quite nerve-wracking getting in touch. So, they're pretty brave. So my question, or I'm just looking for some advice, is about harassment. So my parents were Jehovah's Witnesses. They left the organisation probably 10, 15 years ago now. And since the pandemic, they've been receiving letter after letter, unwarranted contact, loads and loads of kind of harassment, really, letters through the post. And it's stressing them out. It's really stressing them out to the point where they're considering moving house because of all of these unwarranted letters. And I'm just wondering what we can do to stop it. Can I write to somebody? Is there somebody I can contact to say, enough is enough? They're not interested. They don't want all of these letters. It's bringing back terrible old memories. It's stressing them out. It's just causing so much anguish, I guess would be the word. What can we do to stop it? Feel free to share this on your channel. It might help a lot of other people who are having the same experience at the moment. And even though we've been out for so long, as a family, still very much appreciate what you're doing. It's really, really important work. So thank you.
Well, thank you for calling in with that voicemail. Wow, harassment. Okay, so this is serious, actually, and especially when it's got to the point where your parents are considering moving house. They shouldn't have to be thinking about moving house just because the local cult, which they happen to want to belong to, is badgering them. When it gets to that point, well, it should never get to that point, and it's completely uncalled for, and action needs to be taken. So I would recommend reaching out to ico.org.uk, the Information Commissioner's Office, assuming you're in the UK. If you're not in the UK, every country will have a data commissioner. So just Google your country's data commissioner. That's if you're in Europe. It's a bit different if you're in America, because there aren't really, that I'm aware of, data protection laws as such, or at least not on the same level as they have in Europe. So if you're in the UK, contact the ICO. They will advise on how you write to, or how your parents can write to your local congregation and tell them to remove their records. So delete any information, any personal information pertaining to them, and before they delete it, share any records that they have so that they know what information the congregation has before it gets deleted. That's step number one. Step number two, if the congregation refuses to delete the data, or if these letters continue to come in, involve the police, because it is harassment, and under UK law, it could be construed as hate crime. So following 9/11 in the UK, a series of laws were passed to try to get rid of religious hatred or any kind of behavior that could lead to terrorism or could instigate terrorism. So hate crime is taken very seriously in the UK, again, assuming you're in the UK, and especially if the letters are of a personal nature. I would suggest that if it's just like a circular letter where something's perhaps been dropped through the letterbox and it doesn't have their personal details on it, I would ignore that sort of thing. That's the sort of letter that, frankly, everyone's getting during the pandemic. And it wouldn't surprise me if in certain neighborhoods where witnesses are more active, homeowners are receiving those letters with more frequency than in other areas. So it could just be just circular letters that aren't personal. But if they are specifically targeting your parents with personal information, if they're saying, for example, oh, we miss you, oh, it's been a while, but have you considered returning to Jehovah? You know, that sort of thing is completely out of order. And your parents would be well within their rights. Even before the ICO get contacted, quite frankly, your parents would be well within their rights going to the police and saying, we're receiving these letters from the local Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's harassment. It's making us feel so uneasy that we're considering leaving. We're considering moving house. And the police should take that seriously. You know, if the elders get contacted by the police and the police are saying, you need to stop contacting this person or we'll be taking further action, you know, that's the sort of thing where it wouldn't surprise me if things stop very abruptly, because the last thing they want is to bring Jehovah's name into disrepute or whatever. So, yeah, data protection. See what the ICO has to say about formulating a letter that can be sent to the congregation asking for the removal of data and before it's deleted for this data to be shared with your parents, and or contact the police. I would contact the police anyway if the letters are of a personal nature. That truly is harassment and it's not on. And the congregation, the local congregation, are on very, very dangerous ground sending out those sorts of letters to your parents. So there is a way forward. I can understand it's very, very distressing. Unfortunately, we're dealing with a cult where the ends often justify the means. And when you believe Armageddon's coming and your dear brother and sister or former brother and sister down the road are going to die if they don't change their ways, you feel like you can just do anything. You feel like you can just write whatever letter you like. Well, you can't. Sorry. Not in the 21st century and not with data protection laws as they are in Europe. So, yeah, good luck with that. I hope things resolve themselves. Feel free to call in again and let me know what happens. I'll be fascinated to know whether your parents managed to fix this situation. And again, I can imagine the situation getting fixed very quickly once the police get involved. So good luck. Thank you for calling in. If you would like to leave a voicemail, the thing to do is go to speakpipe.com/Cedars, remembering to indicate clearly if you don't want me to broadcast your message. But that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for watching.